So I know I haven't made any follow-up videos on my Fallout Wasteland Warfare unboxing, and I promise more stuff is coming. I got a lot of stuff in the mail today, so I want to quickly go over these two sets of cards and why you would or would not need them. I have completed painting dog meat. The video on this will be coming up soon. I just got to finish editing it, as well as a 3D printed Nuka-Cola machine. I will make a few more of these once I get my other printers set up and do some videos on those. In progress, Super Mutant. I got the... I can't actually get that all the way in shot. The role-playing expansion for Fallout Wasteland Warfare. Now, this can be played alone, just the contents of the book, or it works even better in conjunction with the contents of the Wasteland Warfare box. You will still need to get a set of their dice to go with this, and you can actually get the book as a package with a set of the dice. You could make it work with D12s and D20s, but it'd be easier. It's easier just to use their dice. They have a lot of special surfaces on them. They aren't numbered quite the same as your normal D12s and D20s are. But what I wanted to talk about is these two card packs. And if you find these on a lot of websites or Amazon, they're not well described. So I want to quickly explain what they are. Starting with this one. This is the settlement deck. It's 119 cards that basically flush out all the items. A lot of the stuff that you're familiar with from the game that wasn't in the base set will be in here. It's got all the different types of cards, and honestly, if you're playing it as a those are really stuck. If you're playing it as a miniatures game, or if you're playing it as the role-playing game, I think everybody benefits from these. Just having more stuff and flushing out the world. I'm not going to go through the contents of these cards. There are a lot of other videos that do. I can just say that recommended all around. The other box, this is kind of a different thing. So this is the Radier Wave expansion card pack, and what this actually is, and I already opened this up and started sleeving it. This stack is about triple in size because it's sleeved. But what this is every single expansion of miniatures that they make for this game has cards that go with the miniatures, as well as the AI cards, the faction description, and random item, creature, and cards to expand out your sets. But what they've done here is they've taken all those cards from the entire first wave and put them in a single box. If you are playing it as a miniatures game and you're going to buy most of those sets, you probably don't need this. As you buy more of the sets, you're going to end up with all of these cards anyways. But if you're playing the role-playing game, or you're playing the miniatures game and you have a large collection of miniatures that you could proxy in place of some of these, then you might benefit from this. Because as the RPG, there are rules to allow people to play as robots. So the way the character sheets work in that is you actually have a spot where you take the card and lay it on the character sheet, and then you put modifiers next to the card on the character sheet. So having these, even if you don't have the miniatures, could be very helpful. That's kind of what I intend to do. I will, over time, buy a lot of the miniatures too, but financially, I'm not going to go out and spend hundreds of dollars in one shot for a game that I'm not 100% sure that I'm going to be able to run at my local shop. So, as for these cards, for the item cards, if you're going to play a lot, having duplicates, which you're going to end up with by buying this set and then buying miniatures. In fact, I'm sure some of these might be duplicates of cards in the main set or cards in the settlement expansion. Is not a bad thing for these cards, especially for things like stim packs and stuff like that. You could... They do provide PDFs of these cards on their website, and you can actually download them and print them out on like 110-pound cardstock if you wanted to hand them out. I'd actually suggest that if you're going to play the RPG, that a lot of the common items, you might want to play around with it a little bit and make yourself a custom page, PDF page, with duplicates of a lot of the common items and print them out on heavy cardstock. That way you can hand them out to your players, and rather than them trying to keep track of them on the back of their sheet, you can just give them the cards and they can turn them back in as they use them without you having to risk giving them your cards and not getting them back. You know, if they lose a printed copy, oh well. But if not, if you're going to do it in such a way that you hand them out at the beginning of the game, or you have a trusted group where you feel your players will actually give you your cards back, having a bunch of duplicates from these sets is not a bad thing. So, one thing about this is a lot of cards for the small cards. All these cards, I'm doing them in dragon sleeves. You know, there's not really that many large cards. But for these small cards, you know, there's probably a little less than this in the base box, plus this, and future waves I'm sure are going to do this as well. I hope they do, because this makes a lot of sense for the people who want to play slightly different ways. I originally was going to have my local game shop order me mini sleeves for this, because they don't normally stock this. They aren't heavily into the board games that use mini cards yet. But after looking around, I realized how that was going to cost me, and I actually found this on Amazon. So this is actually a retailer pack. So there's 10 50 packs in there of mini. While I'm thinking about it, this is mini European size, not mini American size, if you go looking for sleeves. So there's 500 sleeves in here, and the price wasn't too bad. So if you're gonna flush this out and you're the type of person who likes to sleeve your cards, I would highly suggest getting a retail box like this rather than trying to buy single cards or single packs of sleeves. So that's all I have for now. More Fallout Wasteland Warfare stuff will be coming up in the future, but I'm kind of putting that stuff on pause right now because I just received a Ender 3 printer, 3D printer, and a drill press, and sometime in the next couple of days I also have a resin 3D printer coming in, and I intend to be making a lot more of this type of stuff. I also recently backed a Kickstarter for not necessarily Wasteland Warfare theme stuff, but Atom Punk theme stuff. So a lot of stuff that will look really good with this, buildings. And as I play with that, I'll be recording, making that, and doing some more painting on these, as well as a build video for the Ender 3. I'm not going to do a review of it because there are hundreds of reviews of it on YouTube. Everybody knows it's a good printer. That's why I chose it. But I kind of want to go through how I set up a printer and some of the stuff that I look at while assembling it. And it comes as a partially pre-built kit, and it's in modules that you put together. I'm not a huge fan of that, but I'll explain that in that video. That'll be coming up sometime in the next week or so. I just want to make this quick video about these before I sleeve them up. I think I'm going to take all these multi-hundreds of cards down to the game shop and go sit down there and sleeve them. Feel like a Magic player. Sit there sleeving hundreds of cards with everybody. Anywho, I'll be doing more videos on the Fallout stuff as I kind of get more into it. Put some comments down below if you are getting into this too. Something I would like to see if anybody else is playing this. Let me know what you're using for terrain down in the comments. That's all for now. So, like, subscribe.